Chapter 4. Alexis and Blake rode in silence until they turned into their parents' driveway. "We're here," Alexis said, stopping the vehicle. "It's time for the talk." "Okay, Maribel told me that things haven't been good. I figured if she knows, it has to be pretty bad. What can I do to help?" Alexis sighed. "First, I need to make something clear. We're in this together, but I really need you to be the leader now." "What do you mean?" "That I've done everything I can to fix things, but Doug and the boys matter more. You get it, right?" Blake was perplexed by his sister's words, but the anticipation was making him go mad with curiosity. "Yes, you have a husband and 2 kids. I get it. Just tell me what's going on." "I don't think that you do get it. You have no idea what it's been like here." Blake didn't respond. He stared off into the distance and waited for Alexis to tell her story. She was quiet for a few minutes. During the brief silence, Blake surveyed the old farmhouse. It looked the same except for a few patches of peeling paint near the front door. The old place seemed small to him now. When he was a kid, he thought it was a grand estate. The empty porch swing rocked slowly back and forth in the light breeze. It was eerily quiet. He'd expected more activity around the property. His dad's Dodge was parked at the old tool shed, and his rusted truck was behind the barn. Where was his mom's car? Why did the house seem so still and quiet? "Not exactly what I expected," Blake said. Alexis turned to look at him, her bottom lip trembling slightly. "Lex, where is everyone?" "Let's go inside." Alexis pulled the keys out of the ignition and Blake hopped out, looking around in confusion. There wasn't a soul around. What had happened? "Where are the Sibs?" "Dad must be in the barn working on something. He'll show up soon enough," Alexis said. Her voice was quiet and calm. He waited for her to answer his question. When she didn't, Blake followed her into the house. A stack of mail was on the floor of the foyer. There were blankets draped over the sides of the couch in the living room, and there were multiple plates and mugs lying atop the dining room table. "Lex, what happened?" Blake felt her grab his arm, tears welling in her eyes. "Mom has been gone for a week." "Where did she go?" "California." "Why?" "There was a major argument with Dad." "What type of argument are we talking about?" "Blake, their marriage has changed. Mom was so upset." "That doesn't make any sense. Mom and Dad were always so close, like lovebirds." Or at least they used to be, Blake thought. His parents got married when they were young, before they could even legally purchase alcohol. According to his father, their only desire was to remain together and never be apart. "Lex, what happened?" "How long have things been this bad?" Blake asked, his voice low and concerned. "It's been a while now. After I got married, I could sense that their relationship was starting to crumble. They led such different lives, and it's really taken a toll on their marriage. It's gotten so bad that I don't even know if they should stay together." The silence hung heavily between them. Blake was taken aback. He hadn't expected his sister to express her doubts about their parents' marriage. Alexis made her way to the picture window at the front of the house, tugging on its curtains as she passed. After a few moments of silence, she explained, "The Sibs have been with Doug and I for the past week. Dad's been distracted because he's hurt and pretending that nothing's wrong, so we agreed it would be best if they stayed with us for a while." "I can't believe Mom left." Alexis swiveled around to face Blake, tears glistening in her eyes. "She told them she needed a break, which was true, so I asked Doug if we could take the Sibs. You don't know what happened, so no judging." "I'm not judging anyone, I just don't understand." "I'm sorry I have to ask you this, but Doug has been so generous already. I desperately need your presence. Can you take care of the Sibs?" Blake couldn't believe what he was hearing. His mother was gone, his dad was in denial, and his younger siblings had been living with Alexis? It was overwhelming. Why didn't anyone tell me our family was falling apart? Alexis bit her lip and crossed her arms over her chest. "I knew you had gone through a lot in the war. Then you went through a hectic divorce, and you were having trouble finding happiness again. When I realized you were unhappy, I thought you might want to come home." "Well, honestly, I wanted you to come home to give me strength." "It was selfish. I'm sorry, Blake." "No, I apologize for leaving you here alone. I'll talk to Dad tonight and Mom too. As far as the Sibs go, I'm eager to spend time with them, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm happy to take over. Alexis wiped her tears and smiled thinly. You think it'll be fun to spend time with 3 teenagers? Yeah, why wouldn't it be? I've missed out on so much of their lives. It'll be great. I will check back after you've spent a few days with them to see if you've changed your opinion. Do you think a few days can sway my decision? Yes, I do. You don't believe in my parenting skills? How hard could it be to look after them? Alexis chuckled. Oh man, you really have so much to learn. Who was that man? Lucien asked as he descended the staircase. Maribel sighed. She knew her son would have questions. He's just someone I know, okay? You seem pretty upset. Was he an old flame? No, we were friends when we were younger. Oh, come on, Maribel. Be honest with the boy, Ruby piped in. She turned to Lucien. Blake Peterson and Maribel were best friends for years. So he's like a boyfriend? Is he No, both women quickly replied, preempting questions about Blake being Lucien's father. I don't believe you two. You answered too fast, Lucien said. Blake is definitely not your father. If he was, he would have been here for you from the beginning of your life, Ruby said. Graham, Maribel shouted. It's the truth, Ruby insisted. Lucien cocked his head to the side and folded his arms as he gave Maribel a piercing gaze. So there's more to it than that. You can be sure of it, but your mom has control over whether or not the story continues from this point. Blake seems willing and ready to be more than her friend. Ruby winked at Maribel, who groaned in response. Not a chance. He's some kind of celebrity chef while I'm just a ranch hand and a waitress. Mom, you're the best lady I know. You're tough and pretty. What more could a guy ask for? Ruby and Maribel laughed at Lucien's remark. She appreciated his wittiness, sharpness of tongue, and humor. It pained her. He was growing up so fast. Her gaze fell onto his shoulders, which were now higher than hers, making her realize how quickly he had grown up. It was hard to believe. He'd be an adult in just 6 short years. Not everybody has your impeccable morals, Maribel remarked. Lucien gave her a half smile in response and said, That's true. I should get back to studying, but we're not finished talking about this. I'll have more questions for you later. Don't expect answers from me, Maribel replied with a mischievous grin. Then I guess I'll have to find the truth on my own, Lucien said before sprinting up the stairs. You know, Ruby said after Lucien was out of earshot, Blake always had a thing for you. If you would just be a bit more open to it, he might remember the good times you two had. That was a long time ago, Graham. But you two are all grown up now. Blake was already nice looking, but now he's got all those muscles. Can you imagine how great it would be to have those big, strong arms keeping you safe and secure? Life wouldn't be as stressful. Oh, Graham, I'm living in reality. That's just a fantasy, Maribel replied emphatically. I disagree. Remember how I felt for your grandfather? Yes, but the world has changed since then. The world might be different, but love is the same.